Welcome to the Nevis newscast for Friday, August 25th, 2023. I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Two bills were passed during a sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly on Thursday, August 24th. Premier and Minister of Finance, the Honourable Mark Brantley, moved the second and third readings of the Nevis Business Corporation Amendment Bill 2023.
We are doing, therefore, two things, Madam President. We are modernizing in terms of the electronic signature now being permitted, and we are modernizing further by allowing documents to be filed electronically. What that does is that it enhances our ease of doing business. And I believe that that is important if we're going to build out the sector, that persons dealing with Nevis, choosing Nevis to invest and to have their financial services handled in Nevis, that we make it as easy and as seamless as possible for them to do business. I believe that this sector has long been asking for these types of initiatives, and we have come today to seek to amend accordingly. And I hope that by taking the approach that I've taken, the House and the public has an appreciation of what it is we are seeking to do by this new legislation, to modernize, to assist in tightening up our regulatory environment, to finally outlaw bearer shares, and to ensure that through our electronic signature and electronic filing, that we provide greater clarity and greater ease of doing business for the island of Nevis.
The Minister of Finance also moved the second and third readings of the Nevis Limited Liability Company Amendment Bill 2023.
Most of the amendments are being proposed based on changes in the general industry standards, regionally and internationally, and the need for the industry here in Nevis to remain updated as well as to remain competitive. We're also, of course, paying attention to the regulatory environment and ensuring that Nevis remains within compliance at all times. It is part of the architecture for the financial services industry on the island of Nevis, and I wish this safe passage because it is yet another effort by us to modernize our legislation and ensure that Nevis remains compliant with international standards. May it please you.
Premier Brantley noted that the financial services industry is a significant part of the economy of Nevis, as it generates direct revenue for the NIA, as well as good quality jobs, income for renters of office space, as well as business activity on the island. Candidates in St. Kitts and Nevis and the rest of the Caribbean were able to access their grades for the Caribbean Examinations Council CXC May-June 2023 examinations. The official results release ceremony was held on Thursday, August 24th at the Marriott Inn, St. Kitts. Dr. Nicole Manning, Director of Operations at CXC, in making her presentation, outlined the results for St. Kitts and Nevis, beginning with the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations, CAPE.
We saw an increase in Caribbean studies for the St. Kitts and Nevis candidates. For communication studies, we saw an increase to 89%, coming from 87% from the previous year, and stability at the ones and twos, in fact, at 3 and 7%. For CAPE Entrepreneurship Unit 1, remember I mentioned tourism, so I'm twinning it with entrepreneurship for you. And we saw an increase to 96%, and we had 2% of the candidates who would have sat the exam getting ones this year. We had none last year, so that is also an improvement. For entrepreneurship, management of business, units 1 and 2, consistent with the rest of the region, we saw an increase, but this is a very big increase for you. 20% you're seeing more over last year. So you had 69% last year and 89% this year. And I think that's very good. Likewise, for the Unit 2, you had an all-time high from the last 3 years for management of business unit 2. So whatever you're doing in that area, you can continue to focus and have it done for the rest of the areas.
She then spoke on the overall performance in the Caribbean Secondary Education Certificate, CSEC.
You had an 84% increase from 78%. This is very good also. For English A, this is, of course, in keeping with the rest of the region, 87%. This is much better than over the last 3, you would have seen for the previous 2 years. And even the ones are up also by 1%, so that's very good. Likewise, we'll share English B, 88%, 3% over the previous year. And also human and social biology, we saw some stability there, but we saw a 3% increase on the ones. So that's very good. Information technology, we saw 93%, a little less than last year in terms of acceptable grades, but a 17%, which is 1% over the previous year. Of course, I would never leave out mathematics. Similar to the rest of the region, you have increased by a bit less than the region, but still 4% more than the previous year, so consistent with the region. The ones were a little bit less, but nevertheless an overall increase. Similar to the rest of the region, we saw an increase at 95%, best of 3 again of the previous year, but look at those ones, 13% higher than last year. Physical education and sport. 99% of the candidates receiving acceptable grades and 69% of the candidates receiving grades 1 for physical education and sport. Very good. Principles of business, consistent with the other business subjects, we're seeing also an increase to 88% and the ones at 18%. A little anomaly there. You're a little different for the social studies. You performed better than the region, 63% if you are noticing there, in terms of a 9% increase. Remember, the region was not there, so if you made a comparison, you would have been much better there, and also for the grades 1. So that's also good. Not where you want it to be fully, but it is also good. So I would say generally, what we're seeing for St. Kitts and Nevis, it's sweet and nice. Yes, I got it right. Sweet and nice. You're not looking badly at all.
She also reported on the overall results for the region. Dr. Wayne Wesley, Registrar and Chief Executive Officer of CXC, did a symbolic presentation of the official results to Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education, the Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley. Also present at the ceremony were Chief Education Officer in St. Kitts, Francil Morris, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education in St. Kitts, Lisa Romaine Pestana, Principal Education Officer Zanella Claxton, as well as other officials from St. Kitts as well as Nevis. Candidates were able to access their results by logging on to www.cxc.org as of 6 p.m. on Thursday, August 24th, 2023. Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley, will host his next press conference on Tuesday, August 29th, 2023. The press conference will be held at the Cabinet Room on the second floor of the Social Security Building at Pinnis Estate. Premier Brantley will provide an update on matters pertaining to Nevis, and members of the press will have the opportunity to ask questions. The Premier's press conference will be broadcast live from 10 a.m. on Nevis Television, NTV Channel 99, NevisTVOnline.com, NTV Go app, Nevis Television Facebook page, and Nevis Newscast YouTube channel. The general public is advised that the offices of the Ministry and Department of Education at Marion Heights will be closed to the general public on Monday, August 28, 2023 from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. The closure is to accommodate the hosting of the 2023 Back to School Convocation to be held at the Malcolm Guichard Recreational Park. Regular office business will resume at 12 p.m. The Ministry and Department apologizes for any inconvenience this may cause. And that's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I am Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Thank you for viewing.